cocoa farm today, and we'd want to, take you all through what you'll be doing. Usually, when people have cocoa farm, one thing that they don't know about is that you have to maintain the farm, and it involves a whole lot of process. Well, usually people think that once you have the farm, all you have to do is just go to the farm. Once it's time for harvesting, you go get your pots on the trees, and that's it. But that is not one thing about cocoa farming. It goes with maintenance of the farm. So today I happen to be here with Mr. Isaac. He happens to be Cocoa TO. He works with Ghana Cocoa Board.
Yeah.
So he's going to take us through the processes they go through in terms of pollination. So what is holding? I think he will be the best person to proceed with the rest of the procedures. For me, I've done my part. So welcome. And
Yeah.
what do you have to teach us today about
Thank you.
cocoa?
Okay, so in cocoa, we
Mm,
have something called pollination.
okay.
We learned pollination in our various schools,
Mm,
but it was a theoretical something. So
okay.
today we want to know how practical
It is.
pollination is.
Okay.
So why pollination? Why don't we leave pollination to the insects to do? We know now in agriculture you use a lot of insecticides, which have been driving the insects who do pollination away. So we have to supplement it, give a supplement to the pollination exercise. So we now engage on the hand pollination exercise, which
Okay.
is done by humans. Yes. So for you to have an effective pollination, we have some materials or farm tools you have to get,
Okay.
and they are very basic.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So, all right. So these are some of them you are
Yeah.
holding.
So this is a forceps.
I think we have to get closer to the camera so that
Yeah.
you can see
So
it.
this is a forceps.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me give you one to handle.
Oh, okay. Charlie, we are
Okay.
here to learn, so I'm also going to handle one. Once he's doing, I would also be doing. So, like he
Yeah.
said, this is a forceps.
That's the forceps.
Oh, okay.
And one technique about the forceps is the handling.
Okay.
If you don't handle it very well, it will be very, very difficult for you to pollinate.
Okay.
So that's how the handling is done.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. So you say this side is supposed to be done this way. So I hope you are seeing it.
Okay. And for you to do pollination,
Mm,
there are some restrictions or rules you have to abide with.
okay.
You shouldn't be the shaking type. Yes.
So, Oyobina Utanumunsa,
Uh-huh.
Enyema,
You have to
Untimi.
have a good eye to hand coordination.
Okay.
Yes, because when we take our flower,
Yeah,
we will know the stigma and anther we used to talk in school.
exactly.
Yes, in cocoa too, we have the same stigma and anther.
Okay.
And the pollen grains are very, very small.
Okay.
So if you don't have a good eye to
Mm-hmm.
hand coordination, it will be very difficult for you to
For sure.
undertake.
Okay.
So this is the first step.
Okay.
And the container I'm holding here
Mm-hmm.
is what you use in harvesting our flowers.
Okay.
Yes. So in cocoa, we believe in cross pollination.
Okay.
Yes, cross pollination, meaning transfer of pollen grains
Mm-hmm.
from one crop of the
Yeah.
same species. You
Okay.
cannot do cocoa to mango, it's cocoa to cocoa, but two different trees.
Okay.
Yes. So we will harvest our flowers
All
from
right.
this
So come
tree.
closer. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, and this is how the harvesting is done.
Mm.
You shouldn't do it when the sun is scorching
Okay.
because it will wilt. Yes, you have to do your harvesting early morning. But when there is a rainfall or early rain like this, you have to harvest the flowers down and dry it, not in the sun,
Okay.
but where air can circulate so that the pollen grain is a powder.
Okay.
So once you dry, the powder would come. So early morning like this, you harvest.
Okay.
One thing about the harvesting is you don't harvest from the down.
All right.
The main reason you don't harvest from the down part is, your hand cannot reach the top when you are pollinating. So it's advisable to harvest from the top so that you use it
Only
to pollinate the down
down.
where
Oh,
your
okay.
hand can reach.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have to get some tags too.
All right.
Yeah. So I have a sample here.
Okay.
The main reason for our tag is for you to know that you've pollinated this tree.
Oh,
So
that's fine.
after each pollination, you will give a tag to the tree. Yes, because of economical reasons, you can also use palm fronds.
Oh, okay.
Yes, just for identification.
All right.
That's all.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So let's do some harvesting.
Okay. All
So
right.
with the
So come
harvesting,
close.
when you are cutting,
Mm,
don't bring it down here because
mhm.
okay, I've harvested this one.
Oh, okay. So me too. Let me
Good.
try.
You can also harvest some.
Can I pick this? It's a unumunsa embao.
Yes. You shouldn't
So
be shaking
if I
things.
shaking, you can't
So
come and
let's
harvest.
harvest more.
All right. So we are doing harvesting now. So all right. So I think so. Let me pick this one too. So this is how it looks like. So after harvesting, I'm going to drop it in this
Okay.
container here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what we've been able to harvest so
Good.
far. All
Okay,
right.
so handle the.
Mm-hmm.
So it's advisable to place it
Mm-hmm.
this way.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's long.
Yeah, it's too long
Mm.
for me.
All right. So we are still learning in cocoa farm, right? So we are learning
Okay.
pollination.
So once
Yeah.
it's here, you just pick your flower like this.
Okay.
The reason we say we shouldn't cut it short is you are going to hold it.
Okay.
The stalk, you are
Mm-hmm.
going to hold it like
Mm-hmm.
this. So where is our anti and stigma here?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
So the top here.
Yes.
Mm.
God in his own wisdom has covered the pollen grains.
Yeah.
So if you want to pick the anther, you have to take the cover off.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so this is it.
Okay. So just let's take a look critical. It looks very tiny. Mm.
Very tiny.
Yeah.
And the pollen grain is the powder on it. So you can test it by touching it with your, because it rained this morning, no,
Mm-hmm.
the powder cannot show much.
Okay.
uh But when it dries a bit and you touch it with your skin,
Mm.
you see some whitish substance just
On
like
your
the
body.
powder.
Okay.
This doesn't mean the powder is not on it. The powder is there, but because it's a bit wet, that's why we can't see the powder.
Okay.
But you can still use it for your pollination.
Mm.
Okay, so let's harvest another one.
All right. So the camera should get closer so that we look at it very well.
Yeah,
So let's.
it's not advisable for your
Mm.
hand to touch
Okay.
to avoid infestations
Okay.
because we don't know what you use your hand for.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
they've
we
picked
picked
it.
it. Okay. So we said you shouldn't harvest from one tree and pollinate on the same tree,
Mm-hmm.
just like the way human beings can do marriage in their family.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. So let's move to another tree.
Okay. Okay. So,
Okay.
all right. So kindly, all right, come closer and let's see. Okay.
Okay. So when you get to the tree, you have to look for strong flowers.
Mm,
How would you know this flower is strong?
okay.
You can touch it.
Okay.
Just
Oh,
some
okay.
have been shaking the tree.
Mm,
If you shake it too much and you don't take care, though the ones that won't drop are the best ones. But it shouldn't be a maximum push, just some little shake for
so
you to know.
which is
The
strong.
pods that will drop are the pods that cannot, the flowers cannot carry pods.
Okay.
They are not strong enough to carry pods.
Pots. Oh, okay.
Okay, so we've harvested
Mm,
from the anther.
mm,
The pollen grain is on the anther.
okay.
Okay, so this is it. So let's go to the stigma.
All right.
Okay, when you watch this thing very close, you
Mm,
could see a white thing inside
yeah, at the middle.
at the middle.
I think you should go closer. Mm,
Okay,
mm,
so
mm,
you want a pollen grain
mm,
to touch
okay.
the whitish thing here.
Okay.
Once it touch it like this,
Mm,
you've
okay.
pollinated it.
Okay.
You can use one to pollinate about five.
Okay.
It touches it.
Let's get closer. Well, let's
You
see.
shouldn't allow the
Okay.
forceps to touch it. It's just the pollen grain.
Okay.
Okay, so after you finish, it's advisable you give it a little mark
Mm-hmm.
so that you know that you've
Pollinated
pollinated.
it. Okay.
So you just use the back of the forceps to
To
give a
market.
little
Okay.
mark
Okay.
so that when you, in case you've exhausted your flowers and you want to do another harvesting, you come and still continue.
Okay.
So some do top-down approach pollination.
Okay.
Some also do down to top.
Upwards approach.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So after you are done with your pollination, how would you know that your pollination was effective?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. In 6 weeks' time,
Okay.
in 6 weeks' time, you come back to do pod count.
Okay.
So pod count, by the time you come, there will be little pods. They are called cherished.
All right.
So this is an example of a cheryl.
All right. Okay.
Yes, it will take 6 months for it
Mm.
to grow
Okay.
into a matured pod like this.
Like this one. Oh, okay. Mm.
Okay, so in
Mm.
6 weeks' time, when you come. Once you did your marking there,
Mm.
it would help you know that this is the pollination I did, because the insects would also be doing some.
Mm-hmm.
So for you to know that indeed this is my pollinated pod, maybe when the rains are heavy, the marks would fade. Yes, but at least some would be there for you to know.
Yeah. I think that's why you use the tag as well.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. So these are the cherries.
Mm-hmm.
Some okro-like.
Mm-hmm.
There is a semi-matured one.
One. Oh, okay.
It's growing into a pot. They
Okay.
look like okra.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm, all right.
So I'll
So,
pause here if you have any
yeah, all right.
question.
So, have you ever wondered why we usually get to farms, especially cocoa farms, and especially where these cocoa communities, you get to some of the farms, you realize that a particular tree has a whole lot of pots on it. So today, I'm telling you, this is the secret. The secret is why most of these trees have a lot of pots, like some 150, some even go as high as 200. I think I'm right.
Yeah.
Some go, I think, as high as 200, 150, and co. This is one of the secrets. This is the magic they be performing. The pollination process is what they be going through. They always don't usually allow the animals or the insects to do the pollination, but they go by the artificial method of pollinating the cocoa tree and the cocoa flower as well. So by so doing, you are going to get a whole lot of pods on one particular tree, which means you would have a bumper harvest if you are able to do the needful or the due process that he just taught us on this camera or in this particular farm today. So I think that's it for now. I don't know if any other thing is there to be
Yeah.
taught.
Yeah.
Mm,
And the major, before you do a right pollination too, you
mm,
should make sure that the farm is very clear,
okay.
because the load you're giving to the cocoa need nutrients to carry.
Mhm.
So you can supplement your natural nutrients with fertilizer.
Okay.
Yeah, because just like you are hosting about 5 people
Mm,
in your house, the quantity of food you prepare won't be the same as welcoming 20 people.
mm,
So once the cocoa tree is welcoming about 50, 60, you have to give it some fertilizer to supplement it, or clear the farm very well so that there will not be any competition for nutrients with the
entrance
weeds.
interview. All right. So, okay. So we heard it all. You've heard it all. So today, I think we've been able to learn something today. And next time, what we are going to do is you would find time, come to the farm. You would focus on one particular tree. Once you focus on the tree and after pollinating it, you would find another time and come back to come and check and see how effective what we've done or the process we've passed through has been able to work on that particular tree. By so doing, you, the one watching us, will also know that yes, indeed, what he's actually telling us or he's teaching us, he's not just saying it, but it's also being effective on the field. So that will be another thing that we'll be doing another day. So kindly take your time. If this is your first time of joining, yes, do us a favor by also subscribing and liking and commenting, share with others so that they also learn something about cocoa production.
Please subscribe to the channel and hit on the post notification bell for more updates.